He's the smooth-talking, banana-eating, coffee-drinking, treehouse building, 9 months taking offing, made this baby that doesn't give a F. One and only, I'm Josh.
Yo, what up? Yo, what up, fam? How you doing? Gonna check the live streams real quick, otherwise I am recording in vain. Looks good. Let's check some volume. You guys remember this? Yeah, we're live. We're listening to Dorito by yours truly. Welcome back. Yeah, I have a customer coming and booked for 9 a.m. Russ check. So it's time to dust off the shop and get the banana ready. I've missed having bananas with you guys in the morning, and the people who watch this show. I miss having coffee. But, can't stay on EI forever. As many of you know, when this whole thing with the deadliest virus in the world that nobody's died from, that I know. When the Branch Covidians took over, it was about 9 months ago. So, in the meanwhile, I've been at home hanging out, built a treehouse for the kids, as some of you may know, bought a piano. I'm teaching myself how to play piano a little bit. Started working out every day. So I worked out every day for 365 days straight. And in my workout I did 30 burpees, 30 sit-ups, 30 push-ups, 3 sets of 21s, some random weights, 20 pull-ups. Burpees were the funnest addition. I gotta say, if you've never done a burpee, that you go down on the ground, hands out, pull your legs up by your feet to your knees, jump up, do the whole thing again. Look up burpees. Found this Russ Shack hat in my dad's garage. Snagged that. Installed a live fence. I'll help install a live fence at my dad's place. The new, really nice place. Adopted dad. What else? Dramatic, usual nonsense stuff that I don't plan on talking about on the Morning Banana Show. We're back. Number 95. So much stuff we could talk about in the world. I mean, imagine when this whole Branch Covidians thing took over. When these guys took over with their medical tyranny, I was calling it back. I'm just looking at my old videos here. There was a few where it was like number, I don't know the exact number, 65, 67, but I made predictions. There it is. Number 75, I specifically titled The Coronavirus. Number 75, if you guys are looking for morning banana shows to refer to. And number 73 as well, I called it Predictions. But anyway, number 75, when this whole thing kicked off, I gave you my honest opinion, and if I recall correctly, without having listened to those again, my honest opinion back then was this is going to get blown way out of proportion. It's not over. In the first 2 weeks they were saying 2 weeks to crush the curve, obviously, and I was like, this is not happening, and there's no concept of 2 weeks to crush the curve. That's not how it's going to go. I gave all my predictions, and it turned out I was somewhat accurate. But anyway, here we are. Enough about me. You've heard enough about the coronavirus for the last year and a half, 2 years. It's 2 weeks to crush the curve. Have you voted? If you're a Canadian watching this, you can vote in some federal elections right now. I did. I voted for PPC. I feel like I've talked about this before over the years, but one of my issues with voting is that living in Canada, this is a Commonwealth country run by the Governor General, who is a proxy of the Queen of England. like Australia, like New Zealand, like the British Virgin Islands, for people who don't know, most Canadians on average think that we are like America because we watch too much American TV. Most of our population of Canada is heavily concentrated around the border. We have 30 million people, and America has 330 million. So we're a fraction of the country, but our media, since it comes from the United States, a lot of my fellow Canadians think that we're American. I don't know why. It's a TV thing. I don't own a TV, but people who watch TV all the time, they get this idea of like, yeah, I'm American. We had our Independence Day. We never had an Independence Day. They talk about Canada Day, or the day that we got. People talk about Canada Day, or the day that we received a Charter of Rights or Charter of Freedoms. But between you and me and a tree, the Governor General actually sits higher in the chain of command than the Prime Minister. And people who do their research will learn this. And also people who do their research will find out that the Queen of England physically and literally owns the land of Canada. And there's no concept of land ownership in the land of Canada. It's all they have a word for it, and it's early in the morning. Slipping my mind. You buy it in, it's like a land holding. The word escapes me. Regardless, there's no concept of land ownership in Canada. Knowing all that, and knowing that Canada is one of many countries that is run by the Queen of England and the British royal family, where does that leave Canadian politics? I personally liken it to a prison where the prison owner, the person who actually owns said prison, the land that the prison is on and whatnot, may be living in a foreign country. I don't think that the landowner of a prison is really concerned with the day-to-day runnings of the prison itself. They may appoint a person who runs the prison, like a prison, what do you call that? A person who runs a prison. The prison manager, and then there's prison guards and whatnot. But ultimately, as a form of control, the person who owns the prison would maybe tour it every once in a while to make sure things are running according to their ideas and desires. So that's, example for example, what we have going on here. And so where does that leave politics, Canadian politics? To me, it leaves Canadian politics relegated to the realm of the internal affairs of a prison system and the dirty weeds of the day-to-day runnings of this is what time they get up, this is what time they get fed, this is what time they have yard. And these details, although not very important to the people who own the prison, can seem super important to the people who live there. So the people who live in Canada think that politics are super important. My votes have always been torn between like a no vote, a no confidence vote. I voted for the Liberals at one point, which is a whole other story. It's not like I didn't just wake up one morning and say I want to vote for the Liberals. I'm not going to say that I was coerced in it, but you can read between the lines there. So this year I voted for PPC, and I feel like that's a lack of options. I would go for a vote for the no vote. I would definitely not vote for Liberals, definitely not vote for Conservatives, definitely not vote for NDP, although people would assume that I would vote for NDP this year. But so PPC is the only platform right now that is talking any sense. And I've heard accusations of the platform being racist or being this or being that, being anti-immigration, and all that is just ridiculous from my point of view. But the one thing that they are talking about that the others aren't, which this is no mandatory vaccine passports, no mandatory anything related to the coronavirus. Kind of like, let's open up the country and get back to work. And that's a political point of theirs that is differentiating them from the others. So, to not have the federal government involved in your day-to-day life. Like, I have HIV, I have AIDS, I have contagious poison ivy. So I can come into your restaurant, right? Well, you can come into my restaurant as long as you show a piece of paper that says you don't have, or your cell phone that doesn't have, proves that you don't have coronavirus. All those other things, poison ivy, HIV, hepatitis, all those things are fine. This is the level that we're at in Canada, where we have the federal government dicking around in our medical affairs. And, it freaks me out. It freaks people out that I know. My girlfriend is German. Her parents are in Germany. So it's freaking all of the Germans out. This is the bottom line. This is the thing, okay? We should know it is freaking them out. They are like, this has happened before, and we are freaking out now. This is a freaking. Yeah, and I'm just so done with it. I was done after 2 weeks. I was done after 2 days. I'm just so done. I carry this thing to appease everybody, and I'm not going to openly violate any laws. I'm not trying to get myself or my company or RusCheck in trouble. I am probably one of the most conscientious RusCheck guys. I'll wear fresh gloves. I clean the outside of your car. I put seat covers down. I put floor covers. Everybody knows that. Who knows me? Like, I talk all this stuff, but like I'm still going above and beyond, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to cough on you or to rub my snot all over your car. It's my normal routine is not to do that anyway. But just so you know. My personal opinions aside, I'm still following all the federally mandated things so that we don't have bylaw officers come to the shop to say, why aren't you wearing a mask when you're in somebody's car or around other people? Saying all that, I don't put myself in a position of enforcing federal mandates. At the restaurants, they expect that there's going to be somebody to enforce these federal bylaws, which is a lot to ask of minimum wage employees. I am not doing that. Luckily for me, customers at RusCheck are single file. I've spaced them out accordingly. Lots of time in between to sanitize everything. I have sanitizer. Like I said, it's an inconvenience for me, but I'm not violating any federal mandates or any federal new bylaws. And I wasn't last year either. But that's how they get you. Federal government is trying to make it near impossible for small businesses to make money. Until we can all be on welfare forever, I guess. That's the goal. UBI, EI never looked so good, right? Anyway, I'm back. Follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. I'm back at the shop. Back at the RusCheck. At least until Christmas. Usually after Christmas, the RusCheck season dies down. Look me up. I'm in Niagara if you want a RusCheck. I hope you have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.